Chest strap? Tight. Leg straps? Check. Handles? All good. Okay, you're ready. You've got this. I look out the window at the cold, empty void that waits below, the space that some couldn't be paid to venture into, and yet, I cannot think of anywhere else I'd rather be. Thoughts run through my head at light speed. Do you know the dive? Are you sure which way the winds are blowing? Did I pack my chute right? Each and every one of these things haunts me, but as I approach the door, as I take that leap, nothing else matters. In life, much like skydiving, every single detail is important, no matter how big or how small. Something as tiny as a blood cell or as important as a pack job can have a profound impact on a person's life, if not given the respect it demands. Paying attention to the details of your environment is a survival trait that has allowed us to survive and thrive as humans. People who lack this skill are doomed to one reality: an inevitable demise due to their lack of awareness and their inability to stop a problem before it happens. Paying attention to detail is something that I can relate to firsthand. A few weeks ago, a minor slip in focus almost cost me my life. During a seemingly routine skydive, a simple packing error caused a malfunction that ended in my right steering line being tied to the riser, or the part of the parachute that you hang from, upon opening. This resulted in a fully inflated canopy that was spinning at approximately 2 revolutions per second. Since my lines are about 15 feet long, I was revolving around a circle more than 30 feet across, twice a second. Due to the fact that I was turning, my canopy was also diving towards the ground at a near terminal speed. At approximately 1,500 feet, I initiated a cutaway of my main canopy and deployed my reserve. Due to my low reserve deployment, I was underneath a parachute by 500 feet. If I had hesitated 2 seconds to jettison my main canopy and deploy my reserve, I would have struck the ground at over 130 miles an hour and consequently not be here at this moment. This shows that humans are inherently flawed. Every day we make hundreds of mistakes ranging from minuscule importance all the way up to things that cost people their lives. But what are we to do? As hard as we try to be perfect, we will never be, and we must rely on other things. These daily aids could be anything such as tools or other people. One example of a tool is the marble blood cell calculator, a device designed to aid lab technicians back before the invention of high-power scanning microscopes. During the early 1900s, lab technicians had to examine blood samples under a microscope and then manually take count of the different types of cells present in the blood. This was a very tedious and time-consuming job that resulted in many errors. This was due to the way that the count took place. After lab technicians had put the blood sample underneath the microscope, they would count, take their eyes away from the microscope to mark their findings, and then return their gaze back to the slide to continue counting. Obviously, the errors in counting are due to the fact that the technicians lose their place on the slide every time they have to make a recording of their findings. It's a seemingly impossible task due to the complexity of our blood and the fact that there are so many cells to count. See the problem? So did Meyer M. Marble, and he went on to create a machine that would virtually eliminate all errors in the counting of blood cells. In 1922, he published a patent for the Marble blood cell calculator, a device that would greatly contribute to a decrease in the corruption of data in labs across the world. His idea was simple: manufacture a device that allowed a person to take an accurate count of something without actually looking at the machine. What he built was a metal box about the size of a keyboard with 8 different size levers built into it. In front of the lever was a window with an analog rolling counter. Each press of the lever would make the counter move up 1 number. There was a marking behind each lever depicting what type of cell it would represent. As long as the technician knew what each lever indicated, they would never have to take their eyes off of their sample, resulting in them losing their spot on the slide and corrupting their data. After they had finished counting, a technician would write down the number in the counter window for each cell, and the data would be an accurate analysis of the blood sample. This new method of counting resulted in much more accurate data. Paying attention to detail extends past the labs and past the skies. It is something that is apparent in the lifestyle of high-caliber people. As hard as my father tried to teach me to be a man of discipline and to do everything with excellence, I let it go in one ear and out the other. That all changed when I almost had a very bad day. And now, I will remember to keep my head up and my eyes on the prize.